Good morning, Falcons. Today on the Falcon 5, we have breaking news for you. Shocking and startling allegations are swirling around campus with regard to administration supposedly hiring Bigfoot to work at our school campus.
Over the last 4 months, cameramen and field reporters from our Falcon 5 team have been citing Bigfoot.
Yeah, I remember the first day it happened. We were filming anchor takes for an episode when our very own Falcon 5 field correspondent, Alex Weber, raced into the studio like he had seen a ghost.
We raised over 22,000 pounds for the San Diego Food Pantry.
Guys.
What? We're in the middle of it. What are you doing?
No, you need to see this. You need to see this. Okay, I want watch this. Okay, watch this.
We here at the Falcon 5 wanted to do a little bird watching. Whoa, that's not a bird! Please tell me you got that. You got that? We have to go show the rest of the crew this right now. Come on.
Is that what I think it is?
Yes, I think so.
I think we need to investigate
Yeah, I agree.
Yes, we do.
Okay, get on.
All right, let's go.
Shortly after the initial chance observations, we formed Bigfoot observation teams in order to secretly observe Bigfoot and his interactions with the staff around the school.
In addition, Bigfoot has been seen engaging in various strange behaviors.
Let's take a look.
There's no money. I mean, look at this line item here, and then there's no money. We spent all the sun, the books are there.
Falcons, I wanted to take a moment to address some serious accusations. There is no Bigfoot on campus. There is no Bigfoot that is part of our staff. People really need to stop spreading these rumors.
While administration flatly denies the allegations, we here at the Falcon 5 are dedicated to bringing you solid journalism with answers, and so we've gone undercover to find out more.
What is he teaching? The rumor going around is that he's teaching swimming to the counselors on top of the admin building. But that's just a rumor.
I can't imagine Bigfoot being in this office because I would remember.
Well, let's check out the video footage we have.
So we can maybe have you continue working here for a short time. Okay.
The faculty has been lying to its students. They've hired Bigfoot. He is an immense liability. He's been going around destroying chairs and tables. The faculty has been having to refund all of this destruction. That's why none of our classes have enough paper.
Or we can shake. That hurts. You are strong. Oh, no, we don't eat the fidget toys.
He lifted up the vice principal's golf cart.
Bigfoot, do you copy Bigfoot?
Hey, don't get in the car. No, there's nothing under there. Stop it. Heel. Sit.
We can now definitively prove that there is, in fact, a pool on top of the administration building.
This is top secret footage taken from a laptop web camera of a disciplinary meeting involving Bigfoot.
In general, being the big guy that you are, people might be a little frightened of you. So stop eating other people's food. Stop hovering over people when they're in there. You need to be a team player, Bigfoot.
The students need to start asking more questions. We need answers.
Honestly, who would hire Bigfoot? That's so
ridiculous.
Well, that's all the time we have for this week. See you next time.
Who would have thought
What?
that?
I don't get it.
What is he doing here?
What job does he have?
Why isn't he in the fort? Why is he
Yeah.
here? Why is he at Scripps?
Who found him? Why did he come here? Is he...
Why do you go to Mary Mason?
Right?
Yeah, why not Mary Mason?
I know like growing up is very like, that's a man's job, and seeing how women are getting together to prove they can do it too.
Don't lower yourself to what people say, oh, you could just do this or like cook or whatever. No, I think you should just do what you want and you'll get to the position that you want.
If I want to work on my own car at home, it's like, well, let your dad do it, or like, you don't need to change your own tire. It's like, if I have to, I will.
It seems that every year that it's the girls that are like the top students of the year. Why is it important to have girls in STEM? Because we need them. We can't be excluding a large portion of the population. We need that imagination, that skill. We can't pass it up. STEM, science, technology, engineering, and math is everywhere we look. They need to be well skilled and versed in the technologies of the cars. So we have special tools that the students learn how to collect data while they use the tool and then transfer that data into, a usable message.
Being an auto shop, you know what's leaking and what's causing pollution. Like if there's an oil leak that goes down the drain into the ocean, that I know I can put something there that can stop oil leaking, or I can create something that doesn't necessarily need oil but needs another substance. My other classes, they aren't very hands-on.
We're actually dealing with real customers.
So we usually have like teachers or like staff that bring in their cars and like an oil change, or we do brakes.
Being in a shop, working with other people, having a customer, learning to talk to the customer and really understand what their problem is, boy, that's a skill that can transfer to any retail.
Like my mindset totally changed, and I know that they're here to help. So now I work just for myself and what I can do better, and what, if I fail, it's like, all right, like what's the next step? What can I improve?
I think times have changed, and I think they're gonna keep changing, and we just need to keep trying and keep doing stuff that we like.
Knowing that I can do it makes me feel empowered. I can like conquer the world.
What does it mean to be black? Does it mean that you can't care? Does it mean that you have to have the freshest haircut on the block? Or if you show the slightest bit of education that you should be criticized? Maybe. That's what I've been told, indirectly at least. To be honest, I don't really know if that's true or not. I mean, no one should be bound and characterized by the color of their skin, right? That's what all the black people say, at least. When the white people say what black people are supposed to be, pure and total outrage. The irony is, black people are doing the exact thing to other black people. Telling other black people whether they should be this or say that, and if you don't do these things and you aren't truly black, isn't a good thing. By their standards, if you don't have the freshest shoes, and if you don't talk all thuggish, you are whitewashed. Weird, right? I don't know. Maybe they're right. Maybe I'm not black enough. Being black is about fellowship and realizing that you're different from all the others. You need to love your kind. I mean, that's what we did for 300 years. We didn't care about superficial things like haircuts or being a thug or shoes. I don't know. Maybe they aren't black enough.
LGBTQ plus being discriminated and harassed by Tiffany, Lily, Kellen, Anna, and Genevieve. The majority of LGBTQ Americans say they have experienced some form of harassment or discrimination due to their sexual orientation or gender identity, according to a report by the Harvard T.H. Chan School of Public Health. The survey of a nationality representative sample of 489 LGBTQ adults found that more than half of them experienced this slave, 57%, or 53% of offensive comments. Most of those surveys also report that they or an LGBTQ friend or family members has been threatened or harassed, 57% sexually harassed, 51% has experienced violence, 51% on the basis of their sexuality or gender identity. September 7, 1979, Robert Allen Taylor was stabbed to death near Loring Park in Minneapolis. A local reporter interviewed the murderer from jail and was told, "I don't like gays, okay?" 85% of LGBT students have experienced verbal harassment. 58% of LGBT youth have felt unsafe at school due to their sexual orientation. 13% have been physically harassed because of their gender identity. July 2nd, 1990, Julio Rivera was murdered in New York City by two men who beat him with a hammer and stabbed him with a knife because he was gay. 34% have experienced bullying while on school grounds. 28% have experienced electronic or cyberbullying. Some people may think that LGBT discrimination harassment is okay because it's the right to feel and treat people the way, but how would you feel if you were being treated like this? For example, in an article, Colorado baker who refused to make a wedding cake for a gay couple on religious grounds. Another article called Opposite Ends of the Pew Pastors Talk About Gay Marriage. Bryant Bright, senior pastor of Johnson Ferry Baptist Church, says he won't allow two men or two women to wed at the Marietta Church. 4 in 10 LGBT youth, 42% say the community in which they live is not accepting of LGBT people. 92% of LGBT youth say they hear negative messages about being LGBT. The top sources are school, the internet, and their peers. 46% of women and 12% of men reported being harassed by a lone man. 3% of women and 5% of men reported being harassed by a lone woman. If you do not accept the LGBT community, that's okay. You have that right, but to discriminate or harass for being a part of that community is not okay. Instead of trying to stop or change them, how about you change the way you approach things or just to keep your opinions and comments to yourself? In the article Civil Disobedience, Henry David Thoreau said, "If a plant cannot live according to its nature, it dies, and so a man."
My name is Perry Chen. I started out on my career as a film critic when my mom and my third grade teacher decided it would be a fun exercise for me to practice my writing skills on the things that I really enjoyed, like books and movies. Ever since I was 3 years old, I loved drawing, and only through my film reviews did I actually get a chance to apply that love of drawing to something film and animation related.
Perry always had an affinity for arts. Perry was very prolific. He was drawing 3 to 5 drawings every day.
Yeah, finding out that my dad had cancer was really a process.
It was in 2012 that when things really went downhill and my husband was becoming very weak. Doctors decided that he should not get more chemotherapy because none of them worked. During a walk with Perry, one evening I told Perry the oncologist gave his dad 2 weeks to live. And then Perry was very calm and very strong. He said, "Mom, I think now is a good time for me to start working on an animation film about Daddy." So his original idea was that he wanted to draw every day and then show the drawings to Zhang Yu every day to give him hope and inspire him to live a little longer.
I felt that I had to do something about it. Then I realized, well, what can I do? I'm just an artist. Then I realized I can do something because I'm an artist. I decided to make Changyu's journey because I honestly felt I had to. I felt that if I could do even the tiniest thing to give him a little bit of hope in the last few days of his life, what choice do I have? I've watched hundreds of movies in my life, and I think I can say pretty definitively that grief isn't always portrayed realistically in films. Because real life grief is very personal. It's different for everyone. Dealing with Changyu's journey was an extension of dealing with my own personal grief. In the end, Changyu's journey is, I feel, one of the biggest I guess, milestones of my personal growth, because it is a film about vulnerability. It's a film about grief. Just his being there was both an inspiration and a motivation for me to continue my artistic pursuits, especially at the end when I saw how much joy I was able to bring to his most painful time in his life. And that even when he was in so much suffering, that seeing my drawings always made him smile.
I think to me, my hope for Perry's future is that I would love to see him keep his childhood wonder and this sense of adventure. He has such a unique voice to tell stories that moves people, that is authentic, comes from his own experience and from his own heart. I am very hopeful that through this continued journey of self-discovery, he will find the things that truly inspire him.
Honestly, making this film, I never set out to do anything great, but it made me realize that I have a lot more power with my art than I ever would have known getting into this whole thing. I can't expect anyone to take anything away from my films, but if I do, I hope it's something that they want to take away.
My name is Arla, and I am in 10th grade. It's scary to see all those mean things being said about immigrants on the news. Kids being separated from their families. Even in my own community, I hear a lot of things being said about immigrants. I wonder if people would just stop to think of them as people, not immigrants. I'd like you to meet a very special immigrant.
My name is Ignacio Alcalá. I'm from Durango, Mexico. I grew up in a poor community. The house that I grew up in was made out of wood and cardboard, which was built by my dad when I was approximately 4 years old. The bathroom was outside, separate from the house. It was one big room, which me and my siblings share. I have 5 sisters and 1 brother, and the same room was the kitchen. Also, I remember working for my dad for free, which that was very helpful because I learned a lot from him, and that's how I started to build up hard work ethic.
Lo que me ha contado Ignacio de cómo fue su vida en México, un poco difícil económicamente. Él quería superarse y fue que decidió emigrar a Estados Unidos.
It was a tough journey for Ignacio.
When I came to this country in 1999, I was 19 years old. I came with my dad, day and night, lacking of food, tired, and it was too cold. When we arrived, we stayed with my uncle, and he let us borrow the living room to sleep in, and I started working with him in landscaping, cutting the grass and cleaning the yard and things like that. Working for my uncle gave me a lot of experience because besides doing landscaping, he does construction. I knew from Mexico, but the construction in this country is different. So working with him helped me a lot build that knowledge.
Ignacio is here now, and he's used this tough journey to help him grow, develop, and learn new skills.
About 15 years ago, I started to work by myself, and over the time I expanded, and now I have people working for me.
He began by doing little jobs for me in my home, and we developed a much deeper relationship through that experience.
One of the obstacles that I had to overcome was the language, because I had to communicate with my clients. They don't speak any Spanish, and I didn't speak any English, so it was very difficult. That's how I came up with the idea to go to school and study English. After I learned the basic English, I decided to continue school. I went to high school and finished the high school. I graduated from high school, and now I'm in college with the major of the architect.
Oh my gosh, I watched him grow so much as a man and as a father and as a friend in all the ways. Like, he's educated himself, which I'm so proud of.
Un obstáculo que hemos tenido él y yo sería el tiempo, pues ha sido un poco duro en ese aspecto para él por el tiempo, todo lo invertido para sus tareas y el trabajo para traer pues dinero aquí a la casa.
Running a business, family, and school is not easy. It's extremely difficult. When I came back from work, my brain is already done, shut down sometimes. I don't want to know anything about school, but sometimes I have to do it.
Incluso a veces iba a dormir como a las 11, 12 y a las 4 de la mañana ya estaba de nuevo despierto para poder terminar los trabajos que tenía que entregar.
But I did accomplish and get 2 B's and 2 A's, and I'm proud about it. One thing that motivates me are my children.
Ignacio es un excelente padre. Me gusta mucho su forma de llegar a mis hijos y educarlos, animarlos y sobre todo que les da un ejemplo bonito.
Because I want them to go to university, I want them to be someone in the future, and also because I don't want them to have excuse to not study, because if I can do it, of course they can do it too.
You see, immigrants are people. Their brothers, their daughters, sons, their husbands, their dads, and heroes too. I know this because Ignacio is my father. Te quiero mucho, papá.
My name is Brian Smith, and I'm a 17-year-old student filmmaker. I'm a senior in high school. I do my homework. I play basketball and ultimate frisbee, and I run track. I'm also allergic to peanuts and tree nuts.
Earlier I was eating Five Guys. Probably wouldn't have brought you to Five Guys because I was eating peanuts. And I'm eating peanuts like right now.
Oh, what word?
I was.
Oh.
So like, I'll try not to touch you. What are, we would say, the top 3 misconceptions about people who have food allergies?
One would be that they can't eat anything at all. If you have food allergies, you just don't eat. No, you eat. You just don't eat what you're allergic to.
My name is Grace, and Brian, you're my nephew.
What do you think is the most common misconception about allergies?
I think just not being educated about it, not knowing how serious it can be if a person brings peanut butter or nuts or something like that, and not knowing how serious it is. You should just not eat it, to where, oh, if I'm this far away, is it okay? Yeah. If I'm out of the room, or what, you know, because they really want to eat it, not understanding how important it is that you just don't eat it in the room at all.
One of the most common misconceptions about food allergies is eating out and the process of eating out. And so with my recent introduction to beef and wheat, I turned to In-N-Out for my first burger away from home.
We're at In-N-Out right now, and I'm about to order. So we're gonna see how this goes. This is actually my first time ordering a burger here. I've ordered fries all the time here, no big deal. But ordering a burger is very different because obviously you have different things you have to deal with that I can't have.
Ordering food safely means communicating your allergies, the removal of certain ingredients, and asking workers to change their gloves and clean areas in an effort to prevent cross-contamination or the traces of allergens coming into contact with your food in the kitchen. This process is different every time and requires effective communication, but in the end, I was able to receive my meal and it was safe to eat.
My name is Lorenzo, and you are my nephew through marriage.
When did you first learn about food allergies?
You know, I only met when I married my wife. That's when I knew someone had food allergies. That's it. Before, I didn't know anybody ever had food allergies.
Wow. Not even like at school?
No, never. I have allergies, but they're not really my allergies. They're my wife's allergies, and or they're my kids' allergies, and I take them as myself of having those allergies.
Living with food allergies is something that has affected me on a daily basis. I've had to change and adapt along with the people around me, but with the proper skills, knowledge, I was able to live, and I am able to live and thrive with food allergies.
My name is Richard. I'm 16 and I know Biman through high school.
Do you know like what I'm allergic to?
What did you tell Nope.
Guess. Like,
Peanuts. It's the most common thing.
Eggs is a common allergy. What if you're really into eggs and like you ate eggs every day and like really like enjoyed like eggs and everything or whatever, and you found out one day like you couldn't eat them? Like what would you do?
I would be devastated. I would probably kill myself.
Yeah.
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 If I was really in love with eggs.
If you're like really in love with eggs. Do you know anybody who's allergic to eggs?
No.
Oh, that sucks. Shoot. Any closing remarks? Because I barely have any time left.
Well, I feel for all those allergic to things. I'm not allergic to anything, so I'm pretty lucky.
High school. A place that parents shouldn't have to worry about leaving their children. A safe haven. Yet plain and simple, it isn't. Substance use has been a part of the American high school culture and so-called experience for decades. Why? In the 60s, 10% of teens had tried cocaine. In the 70s, the use of marijuana doubled over, twice. In the 80s, cocaine overdoses occurred often, the DARE program was introduced, and 1/3 of Americans reportedly tried marijuana. In the 90s, the era of ecstasy and crystal meth, aka club drugs. And now, the 2000s. It could be split into an entire generation's worth of substance history. It's the age of experimentation, nicotine, and innovation in the drug world. People always stereotype and assume the reasons for why teens indulge in drugs. Whether or not they are right, these are the facts.
Some people can smoke for 12 years and quit in a day. Some people can smoke once and be stuck forever. I think in my teen years it kind of went a little sideways.
I've smoked weed, I've done like Xanax, Percocets, weed, alcohol, acid.
So I've just done marijuana.
Marijuana, then Adderall, then alcohol, nicotine, MDMA, shrooms, acid, cocaine, lean, as in codeine, and Xanax. It was sophomore year, and I was with some friends. Our friend's dad was out of town, so we were at his house, and we were drinking. But then when we got drunk, we were a little more open to do other things. So that was the first time I smoked.
And being bored of previous nights and wanting something else, I guess.
I hate like going in the bathroom and seeing like 6 little kids like all crowded up and just like hitting the vape.
Socially, it's kind of crazy how it changes every year. I remember when I first came to high school, it was only really the seniors who were doing drugs and you kind of didn't hear about it. But now I know that all the freshmen and even kids in middle school are using drugs.
You can go to a smoke shop or even sometimes the mall and buy some sort of device, whether it's a Juul, meat pod, fix, all that, and you might not even get carded for it.
Over the years, different programs were introduced to mitigate teen drug use. For example, some studies have concluded that the DARE program has increased drug use by 3 to 5% amongst teens. As I have watched my friends and classmates change over the past 4 years, I believe this to be true.
I had a cocaine addiction kind of, so I was using that regularly, but I managed to break that.
So Personally, I wouldn't try any of the really harmful drugs because I know I have a very addictive personality.
My parents know pretty much everything I do because they see it as if they know what I'm doing, then they can keep me under control.
Yes, my parents do know, and at first they were kind of upset with me, but after a while they came around and they support me through it. It's really easy to get angry and just ground people and blame them for doing these actions, but a lot of times you just need to ask and dig deeper and see what the truth is behind it.
Anyone can become a dealer. Like last year, I look at myself as just like some goofy ass kid, and I started with like $200, and I just started like flipping like weed and shit. It's not like a real like friendship, it's just like a friendship built around like drugs, and it's like kind of like weird to say, but it's just like how the reality of it is. You gotta remember that you were living life fine without it before, and you're still gonna be able to live it fine afterwards.
Now, after hearing the story of drug users as young as 14, you may be doubting what you know or are being told. The simple truth is this: nicotine use has more than doubled in just 2018 and shows no signs of slowing down. Let's listen, understand, and try to make a genuine change. My name is Nepal Arslan, and this was The Truth.
My name is Jean-Louis. I'm one of the core members of the community group called Big Boat, and we are organizing a candidate forum plus voting party for tonight.
Currently in San Diego County, only 20% of the population in all the county come out to vote during the primaries. Now that's not an impressive number, that's very low. So when you shift over to the general election, of course, more people are informed when we have federal elections that are also aligned with the general elections. So we have about 40% of San Diegans come out to vote then. Still not an impressive number, but we had that event to really get people to draw out and come, and the community really came out in the masses, and we feel that people do want to better understand who are the good candidates and propositions and measures for our community.
Guys, Zach, Caleb. Oh, there is no doubt communities are stronger together. You know, there's a problem sometimes in some communities. Well, they'll say, well, that's not my problem, that's their problem. And it's almost like somebody saying, hey, there's a leak in your side of the boat. Well, if you've ever been in a boat, you care about that leak no matter where it is, because you're all in the boat, and the reality is, as communities, we're all in this together.
What I think is, all the vote count. So everybody vote count. Remember that. So there's a election that two vote different. Same thing with the measure. Like there are elections that only one vote different. So if you said that one vote not count, you go to the past election and you will see that's not true.
San Diego is a city of untold beauty. It is all around you.
San Diego is full of variety. From the ocean to the mountains or food around the world, San Diego has it all.
Me gusta la variedad de la cocina y la calidad de la comida.
Em thích thành phố San Diego tại vì mỗi người có câu chuyện khác nhau.
It's a perfect mixture of a beach and urban city.
I remember one time when I was a kid, I went down to the children's pool in La Jolla to see the sea lions, and I never wanted to leave.
When I'm surfing, the ocean just seems really beautiful to me, and that's what attracts me to it because of its beauty. And it just makes you feel like you're in a completely new environment and you don't really have any worries because you're just one with the water.
I love how every neighborhood is filled with cultural vibrancy.
تو سن دیگو خیلی فرهنگ و خیلی زبونای مختلف هستن. خیلی جالبه چون که آدمون تو سن دیگو خیلی فرهنگ دارن و میتونیم ازش یاد بگیریم.
San Diego has a lot of different cultures and is very unique in the sense that everyone here has a place.
Culturas são de todo o mundo.
San Diego には世界中からのさまざまな文化があります。それゆえ、サンディエゴは世界の縮図と言えます。
San Diego is beautiful, no matter the season. It's a city where summer is all year long.
I love San Diego because the weather is always perfect and it's always sunny.
¿Qué es lo que más me gusta? Me preguntan. Pues su gente. Su gente de toda la vida que ha crecido, nacido y ha hecho sus vidas en San Diego. Aquellos que han venido, que han traído su comida, sus costumbres, sus idiomas. Y conjuntamente cada día se levantan, sonríen, para tener una vida mejor, no solamente para ellos, sino para sus hijos. Le dicen, America's finest city. Pues sí, lo es, San Diego.
We are San Diego.
Nahalagahan ko ang kulturang kinagisnan ko. Ang bawat amoy, panlasa, at hibla ay sadyang naiibang ari ng Pilipinas. Ang iba't ibang uri ng pagkain ang nagbabalik sa akin kung saan ako nagmula. Ang mga lutuin ng aking lola ay ipinamana niya sa aking mama. Iyon din ang ipinamana niya sa akin. Ang mga lutuing ding iyon ang ipamamana ko sa aking anak. Ang mga lutuing ito ay pinagpasahan na sa maraming henerasyon. Sa bawat kwentong ipinasa, kasama ng mga pagkaing pinagsalu-saluhan.
Kain na!
Zion Market is a bustling shopping center full of customers seeking Asian food and culture. But it has a hidden gem nestled away upstairs. It's the San Diego Korean Library, run by its directors and volunteers for 17 years. Though it's generally unknown, it's well loved by those who use it. Local libraries don't always provide a wide variety of foreign books, and it takes other establishments such as the Korean Library to make up for this.
My name is Jung Lee, and I'm in charge of the library. I'm a director. These libraries belong to the Hanbi Church in the Korean town, and my pastor, John, he realized that we need more connection to Korean people, and there is many Korean people stay here, but then there is nothing else at the time. So he decided to open the library to the public. That means a lot. Actually, I grew up these books, like old books, like this one is a fairy tale. And then also I can meet many Korean people to borrow books, and then I can actually help them. So it's just like a small community here.
Have you ever made soup from bones, fed the children first, and still starved the family? Maybe we drown our soup in sauce because we remember a history seasoned in tears. Remember when uncles bit their wrists just to taste the salt? So even cooking becomes its own trauma. The grip of the ladle, both trigger warning and deliverance to an immigrant. I've never seen my father cry unless he talked about his own father.
Race, culture, and identity is not something that people just feel very comfortable talking about, and so having it presented in a way that's fun and inviting will make people feel more susceptible to maybe participate in that type of dialogue.
I think it's super essential to be able to have these different pieces of art, to be able to allow people to see the different aspects of Vietnamese culture, from the food, from the people, and to even see what's important to people.
For us to complete the project, the students had to actually go out to the community, some business members, customers, just like people they found in the community and interviewed them so that they could archive their stories. The awesome things about the exhibition happening at Fair and 44 is that it's in a space that's familiar to them, so it's not in a museum that's like outside of their community, but it's photographs of them like in the community, for this community, and in a space that's accessible.
It's pretty much like the cultural hub for Vietnamese people. You know, this is where all my friends and I, we go for Vietnamese food to get to know like this is just the beginning of what the community is going to become. And so I think it's important to have art because it helps us to embrace our culture and share it with other people too, because City Heights is incredibly diverse.
I'm a professional composer for film and television. It's a very special premiere performance of the Hermanos Arongos from Havana, Cuba, who came here to perform with the symphony orchestra here at the school.
This event was about merging two different approaches to music, two different worlds of music. I think for the students here in Canyon Crest, what they've experienced is something so unique.
Bueno, yo creo que es importante esta fusión porque y es educativa, porque aquí, por ejemplo, y no solo en Estados Unidos, en muchas partes del mundo, hay una idea de lo que es esta música, pero vaga.
El comienzo fue maravilloso porque una orquesta de niños, ¿no? Adolescentes, y tocaron muy bien, ganamos los dos. Ganan los estudiantes de la escuela, ganan los hermanos Arango. Yo en lo personal gano muchísimo porque ya te digo, es la primera vez que trabajamos con una orquesta así.
Yeah? Well, I've got a tank full of gas. I'm ready to go. Well, I would, but I don't know how. I've got all 4 tires. What's the problem? Well, I've got a penny.
Perfect. Let's check the tire tread depth. Take your penny and insert it into the tire's tread groove with Lincoln's head facing downwards and toward you. If you cannot see the top of his head, then the depth is just fine. However, if you can see all of his head, you're going to have to replace those tires.
Well, that wasn't too bad. I can handle that once in a while. So, thanks, but do you mind if I change the radio now?
Hello, and today we will be teaching you how to make a basic chocolate cake recipe. For this recipe, you'll need 2 cups of flour, 2 cups of sugar, 3/4 cups of unsweetened cocoa powder, 2 teaspoons of baking powder, 1.5 teaspoons of baking soda, 1 teaspoon salt, 1 cup milk, 1.5 cups vegetable/canola oil, 2 large eggs, 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract, and 1 cup of boiling water. You will also need pre-made frosting.
To begin, preheat the oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit and spray the cake pan with cooking spray.
In a large bowl, combine the flour, sugar, cocoa powder, baking soda, and salt. Mix well.
In another bowl, mix together milk, canola oil, eggs, and vanilla. Then add it to the large bowl with the dry ingredients. Then add the boiling water. After combining both mixtures, pour cake into a prepared pan. Now put the cake in the oven for 30 to 35 minutes and make sure to check it throughout the baking process.
Once done, remove the cake from the oven and allow it to cool for 10 minutes. Then, take it out of the pan and place on a flat surface to serve.
Once on the flat surface, you can leave it plain or add the frosting.
What does it take to be a superhero? Does it take supernatural abilities or technology beyond belief? To be strong like Wonder Woman? Or as selfless and altruistic as Captain America? Or as powerful as the Black Panther? But a suit or supernatural abilities doesn't make you a superhero. A true superhero is made by the thirst to do what's right and help the people that they care about. So how can you be a superhero? Well, just look around you. Look at the doctors who spend years learning so that they can do good. Or the soldiers who risk their lives so that they can help people. Or the people who choose to overcome their hardships and do good. All of these people are superheroes, and you can be too.
Mami, quiero galletas.
Step 1. Preparation. Preheat the oven to 300 degrees. You will need 2 sticks of butter, half a cup of cane sugar, 1 cup of chopped pecans, 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract, 2.5 cups of flour. Step 2. Mixing the ingredients. Start with your flour in a large bowl. Add all of your ingredients in the following order: butter, cane sugar, chopped pecans, and vanilla. Step 3. Kneading the dough. Using your hands, squeeze the ingredients together until the dough begins to form. It will feel very dry, but that's how it's supposed to feel. Step 4. Shaping the cookies. Once the dough is mixed, begin to form the cookies using a small handful of dough and rolling it into a cylinder, about the size of your pinky finger. Place the cookies in rows. When all of the dough is gone, they're ready to go in the oven. Step 5. Baking the cookies. Place the baking sheet on the bottom rack of the oven and leave them in for around 30 minutes. Once 30 minutes is up, take them out and let them cool. Step 6. Sugar rolling. One by one, take each cookie and roll it around in your bowl of powdered sugar. Set them on a plate and then roll them one more time so that they have a second coat. Place them on a platter, sprinkle, and serve. Mexican wedding cookies have been a way to bring family together for generations. Now, for me, they are a way to keep my culture alive.
Last Friday, students participated in a walkout to make a statement against climate change.
This all started with a girl in Sweden and ended up involving over 100 countries. A student strike was even held in Chula Vista.
Once CCA heard about this event, they wanted to get their voices involved as well.
Here's more about the event.
A lot of people know that this movement, the weekly strikes, started in Sweden with Greta Thunberg. So she was really the one to kind of initiate this whole movement, Fridays for Future.
We had a lot of opposition from people who were just like, why are you even doing this? And that's understandable, but the thing that frustrated us the most is that they weren't helping, and they were upset at us for wanting to change or wanting to do something.
Our changing climate and the degradation of our environment is one of the most dangerous challenges facing us and facing you as young people in your future.
Well, I think it's so important for young people to be able to voice their opinions. And this issue of the changing climate really is something that's going to affect them more than it's going to affect me.
So me and a few friends from CCA went down to Hilltop High. I went because I wanted my voice to be heard. I think that everybody can make a difference.
I hope that this makes the youth more conscious in general. I think it's really important for us to really use our voice in this issue because, it's going to affect us the most and our future generations. So I don't want to make the same mistake that past generations have made.
Without the funding from Coronado Schools Foundation, Coronado High School would not be the same campus. We would not see smiles, we would not see excitement and engagement in our students, because all of the great experiences our students can have while they spend their day with us. Coronado High School's engineering and computer science pathways, students are able to do hands-on projects, are able to make connections with local companies and industries related to their field, and even develop usable independent projects. In sports medicine, our students are exposed to real-life experiences in the medical field. For example, in our advanced sports medicine, our students go directly to Sharp Hospital here in Coronado and have real-life internship experiences, which not only help them use the information that they have learned, but really help them guide their career decision choice making. In the music program here at Coronado High School and Coronado School of the Arts, our students are able to compose music. They are able to learn advanced skills in music theory, which help them expand the types of music that they are able to either create and or perform. And of course, without learning an instrument at an early age, you would not be able to have an enriching music experience here at the Coronado High School Band.
Cubing, it's a way of life. Once you start, you're stuck. First time you finish it, it feels so good. Then you're like, wait, I can do better. I can get a faster time. You keep going faster and faster and faster. Then finally, you reached your limit and you can't beat it anymore. Let's go to the Rubik's Cube Club and look at the people who are stuck in the loop and trying to beat it.
First thing you do is make the cross.
In Rubik's Cube Club, we solve Rubik's Cubes and we puzzle solve, and we just have fun doing that.
Bottom up to make the top edges match with the
Alright,
center.
I'm Dylan Calvo, and I built this robot that solves Rubik's Cubes. At first, it scans the Rubik's Cubes using like a sensor that reflects light, and then it uses that data to try figure out an algorithm to solve it.
My best is 27 seconds. The world record is, I think it's just under 4 seconds.
Give up yet? No, without a fight! To the left, up inverted, left inverted, up, left, up, front, up inverted, front inverted. Now you
And the competition is on March 9th. We're going to go to Cal State San Marcos for the San Diego STEM Rubik's Cube competition, where 8 members have to solve 25 Rubik's Cubes, and a winner wins a certain amount of prize money for the school.
That robot was awesome, and I wish the Rubik's Cube Club best of luck in their competition. I believe in them. Back to you in the studio!
be glad that you don't have to match up edges or
Silver Strand Elementary School's specials programs, which are electives at elementary school level, are all funded through the Coronado Schools Foundation. And we're so appreciative of the opportunity students have to be exposed to all the visual and performing arts through a Coronado Unified School District created curriculum. Our VAPA teacher is funded by the Coronado Schools Foundation. Our science lab teacher, our students have opportunities for hands-on enrichment, also funded through CSF. And our students have opportunities to be exposed to technology, keyboarding, coding, engineering activities, and library activities and reading extensions also through CSF. We really rely on Coronado Schools Foundation to add enrichment to our students' school days and bring more than reading, writing, and arithmetic to our students. Thank you, CSF, for all you do to enrich the lives of our students.
Probably in a couple.
I'm kind of scared though,
But we're using them Monday.
And so like in the corner.
We're sending people that have lots of problems.
Windows problem.
Trapped in the corner, all right? So we were trapped, and then Sophie decided to call.
Hey, what's up? Some dude just comment on my picture.
Problems with us.
We have a fire over in High Valley in the backyard. Okay. Across our neighbors' house. Up in here. In the backyard. We're sitting on the same street we left. It's burning up our house. Okay. I have my dogs, everything. I'm trying. Okay. Fire's right on top of us. Right on top. I don't have a car. I have no way to get out. A fire on our property. We have about 50 people out doing evacuations for thousands of people.
About 85% of wildfires are started by humans. Don't leave fires unattended. Stop wildfires.
Waking up early, get all my sinning done. Talking about trash and how it's here and gone. But I have a reason to believe in you. Don't bite. Passing out cards of the Gospel of Dear John. But I have a reason to be rid of that. Don't crack.
See something concerning? Unkind? Questionable? Say something. If you see something, say something.
If you ever wake up to a wall of water bearing down on you, you'll have been glad you watched this video. Here's a few tips on how to prepare for a tsunami. Tip number 1. If you see the water vanishing, run away! Tip number 2. Get to high ground. Just in case it wasn't obvious, get as far away from the shoreline as possible, and only take your most valuable or important objects with you.
If you feel a strong earthquake or said tsunami is coming on shore, and you don't have time to get to high ground, as a last resort, you should run to the nearest tall building over 3 stories and climb to the roof.
Call 911 and hope that you are saved.
After a tsunami, make sure to steer clear of damaged buildings, roads, and electrical equipment like power lines to stay safe. Once you have evacuated or are secured in a shelter, save phone calls for emergencies only. Phone systems are usually busy during this time, so contact your loved ones with text messages. Be safe!
I know it's hard, but the idea is stupid, trust me. The idea that we have to be perfect or follow a path made by someone else is idiotic. You are brilliant and wonderful. Try not to think about it as if they are disappointed. Think of it as they don't understand what your true potential is. You are amazing, talented. You might struggle on academic things, but that doesn't make you less of a person.
What are you listening to, kid?
Hey. You missed one. Hey, I saw what happened earlier. You good?
Yeah, it happens a lot. I'm used to it.
You have any plans right now?
No, not really.
You want to hang out? You want to go get something to eat?
Yeah, I'm down. Yeah, let me put my stuff away real quick.
You ready to take off?
I'm ready.